Hello and welcome to another wonderful day. I got an interesting little package in the mail yesterday. Yes, I ordered it, so yes, I know what it is. No, I have not opened it yet. We're about to do that so you guys can see the start of my home network. So there it is, UI.com, Ubiquiti. Okay, let's get this bad boy open. Yeah, my son had to go pick it up for me. And I told him explicitly, don't open it. So there's the shipping receipt. And let's see. Let's move this out of the way. So I got me a Dream Machine Pro. Part of the reason is we just moved into a new house. And by new home, I mean really new, as in just built home. We got what we could afford. It's a 4-bedroom. I'll go through and show you guys at some point. Pull tab. I don't even need my knife. Look at that. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Okay. So yes, I have watched some videos and stuff on this. So, okay. Let's see. Here's the hardware package. Power cable in there. Screws, mounts, or screws, oops, and the foot pieces, and instruction booklet, and then either rack mount or wall mount plates. If I remember correct, you can mount these on the side of the Dream Pro instead of for a rack mount like this. You can mount it like this, where the front's here, and you can mount it to a wall. We'll take a look at that. I'm not going to do that, just because I'm actually going to buy a rack for the garage. Okay, now comes the part I've been waiting on. Oh yeah. Is that in? Yeah, that's it in there. So, hoping you guys can see this stuff. So it comes very well protected. And I mean very well protected. It's really nice. For the amount of money going into these, it's definitely worth it. Now, this is probably overkill for most home. Okay, so here's the front. We've got a WAN connection, fiber, 8 LAN, display screen, hard drive bay. And then in the back, we've got the redundant power supply connection. So you can actually buy an RPS from Ubiquiti to put in your rack. That will power this device and a few other devices. For anyone in networking and technology, most servers, switches, routers, and everything come with 2 power supplies. This eliminates the need to have an internal power supply on these devices. So, and then here's your power supply. That is 100 to 240 volt. So there's a protective cover over the screen, and there's a pull tab here for the hard drive. I did not get the one with the hard drive because I do not have cameras as of yet. That will come in the future. So overall, I'm happy with it. Oh yeah. Going back to why I wanted a Ubiquiti for my home network instead of a TP-Link or a router of that kind. I work in technology. I am a micro technician, Microtech 2. I'm working on getting a cybersecurity degree. Obviously, I want to have a little bit better network. I want to have a gigabyte network. I want to do as much as I can with my network. This is not a lab setup, but this will allow me to connect to my Dell server that's in my garage. It will also allow me to control my network a lot more stringently than I could with just a TP-Link or a Linksys or any of those types. I'm not opposed to them. They're great for what they do, but this gives me a little bit more control over my home network than those do. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to set. Give me some time. I will get this set up, and then we will switch over to the computer and I'll show you the setup. Okay, I'm back. And as you guys can see, it has been a little bit of time in between the previous video and this video. The biggest thing is I didn't know how to set up the Ubiquiti Dream Machine Pro. So I went through and did a few videos, well, watched a few videos, a lot of videos, on how to go through and do the settings and set everything up, get it all ready for a home network environment. So with that, I'm going to do a couple shout outs. Cody at Mac Telecom Networks has been tremendous on his videos. The biggest reason I watched his videos more than the others is the fact that he's running the new software, the new dashboard on the Ubiquiti Pro. So that helped me a lot on trying to find some things, and some things are still a little different. I'm running the more recent rendition of it, so like backups, I still haven't found them, but I know they're there. I just need to find them. Chris with Crosstalk Solutions, another big help trying to find stuff and how to set up the VLANs and stuff inside the Ubiquiti system. I believe I've got the name right, but Rob at the Hookup, tremendous source, really good. And Jeremy with Keeping IT Simple. They were all very, very helpful on their videos. I didn't talk to any of them personally. Obviously, I didn't message them or anything. I just went through, watched their videos on what they did for their home networks. And like with Cody, he actually does this for a living. So does Chris with Crosstalk. They install these for a living at companies, at customer sites. So they have a little bit more in-depth knowledge of what I might want to do, considering I'm learning it and I am in IT and I want to look at possibly maybe in the future being able to maybe do some consulting and some installations myself. That being said, I have an outline of what I intended to talk about today. So as you guys can see, it's a long list. So I'm not doing that today. I've already done this video once and did not realize that my audio was not recording. I don't know what I changed since the last time I recorded the videos, but it was not recording my audio, and now I'm nervous. So yes, it does show that it has audio. I did test it, so all before you start your video for the upload, check your stuff, make sure your camera's working, make sure your audio's working, your recording, voice recording, make sure your audio in your ears is working, make sure it's not overlapping one another. So, but what I did find is when I did do that video, I found it, I was having fun showing you this, what I had learned going through, and not making any changes yet to the network. We can do that in another video. But right now, let's just run through really quickly what is all here. So we have the network here. We have the version of the software for it. So this would be your wireless, your wired, your rules, your firewall, stuff like that. The Protect here, the version of it. Protect is going to be your camera system, your security system, stuff like that. With the exception of doors. Doors will be done through the access portion here. This will allow like key cards to open doors, little fobs to open doors, stuff like that. Talk is going to be your VoIP, your voice over IP. This is in beta. This is not out yet. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anything to do to test these three on. I fully intend to get several of the cameras, several of the WAPs. I might play with the door access on like the garage door or something, the side door of it. I do want to get into the VoIP. So, and I know Chris at Crosstalks, part of his is a PBX system, and that's something I might look at another date. But right now, the only thing I truly have is the network. So, and down here is going to be the users. So this would be any users you've added that can access the udm-pro and be able to modify it in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to open this right now due to the fact that I'm recording and I don't remember what it shows. So I don't want to do that. We'll go into settings real quick. InfoTech with Bob, udm-pro is what I've named the system. It is a Dream Machine Pro. It is me. The uptime is, as you guys can see, it's 4 days and 5 minutes uptime. Firmware is 1.85. I've got it checking for updates on, so apparently it checks every day. Then it talks about, or then it shows you the load for the CPU temperature, and memory. Goes into hardware, processor, internals of the system if you really want to know. I do not have a disk mounted at this time because, again, I don't have the Protect. But as soon as I get the Protect, I will most likely install an SSD to store the data on. So applications. So we only have the network stuff installed right now. We don't have Protect, we don't have Access, and we don't have Talk. I believe I can install Access and Talk. I do not believe it will let me run Protect. I could be wrong because they are showing over here to stop the services. So I'll have to play around with that. I'm not going to do that on the camera with you guys. This will show the location and then advanced. So this allows you to SSH in, remote. So this would be from unifi.com or unifi.ui.com. This is the device name. This is the automatic checkups. This is the release of it. So I am running the official software, not a beta software. This is also where you restart power off correctly and do a factory reset. Download support file. This is the information in helping to debug that if you have a problem, you would send it to support. They'd be able to read through it and see if there's anything in there to assist you. Enable analytics and improvements. This would send feedback to Ubiquiti. So, okay, now to get back to the main screen, go up here, click the U up here in the upper left corner. Once you're back here, if you click any one of these, it will take you into your dashboard. So this is my current dashboard, and down here would normally show your Wi-Fi statistics, but as you see, I don't have a Ubiquiti WAP set up. All I have is my TP link, and I am going to find out if I can actually use this as a WAP and have it populate here. I don't think it will, but it's irrelevant because eventually I am going to get some nanos, and I'm thinking about the HD WAP because I've got a 4-bedroom home. It's a ranch style. It's 1,700 square feet. So I've got 4 bedrooms, a garage. My living room, dining room, and kitchen are all an open floor plan for those 3 areas. But I do want to put a WAP in there, and then 1 in each room, and then 1 in the garage. Now, I don't use wireless except for my IoT, which is the Internet of Things. And that's your smart lights, your smart home, your thermostat, as well as our cell phones, because we find it more convenient to use our Wi-Fi when we get home instead of using our phone data, because 1, it's quicker, and 2, it's quicker. Now, we do have unlimited on both, so it doesn't really matter except for the speed at what you download and so forth. So that's that. This gives you the rundown of the uptime. This is what I say I'm supposed to have, and this is what your usage is showing. So we don't have a lot of usage, and you can run a speed test and it'll show you. I averaging right now about 600 down, and we average right around 100, 102 up. So that's really good. We have 15 clients online, so that's 2 smartwatches that are Apple, 2 Apple phones, that is 2 MacBooks, and then this computer. Pretty much everything else, because I've got the server shut off at the moment, pretty much everything else is the IoT devices. We've got quite a few of she that must not be named devices throughout the house currently. And I've got ideas for a bunch more. Like I said in the last section, it's a brand new home. A lot of growth potential, a lot of rewiring. I am going to drop Cat 6 into each room, at least 1 for the computer to be able to run when we're doing our video editing and so forth. That's what the server's for. It's a large server. It's made to store the video information, the raw footage, so we can just pull it into our computers and work on it. Yeah, I mean, Cat 6. The farthest point, which is this room, is 64 feet worth of cable going back to the patch panel. And I'll eventually show you that because it's not a patch panel at the moment. It's just a bunch of wires hanging down out of a media container. So quickly get back on track. This is the map. Now I only have, again, the one Ubiquiti device. And then you can see I've got my phones, my desktops, and stuff like that. This shows that I've only got the one Ubiquiti device. Clients. This shows all the things attached to it at the moment. And you can switch between wired and wireless. Now the wireless isn't showing anything because I don't have a Ubiquiti WAP. The wired is showing all of them because they are connected to the TP-Link, which is plugged in to a port on the Dream Machine Pro. So at least that's my understanding of this. Statistics show you what areas you're downloading and stuff like that, and going from there, what's the highest use and so forth. Xbox. I don't have an Xbox. I don't know why that. I'll have to check that out later. Insights. I'm not 100% sure on this. I'll have to go around and play with this a little bit more. But just doing a quick look of it, it gives me the download for each devices, what it's uploading, the manufacturer, and the device type on most of them. So, and then threat management. Threat management would be part of your security, your firewall, your IDT, IPT. So, and then you've got your events, log-offs, log-ons, stuff like that. Your alerts, I'm going to assume your threats would be here. Help center, and then the fun part, the settings. So in here is where we will be going when we go in to do all of this. And this is almost word for word, step by step, with the way Cody did it in his latest video on the 6.0 version of software for the Dream Machine Pro. So it's almost word for word, and he goes through and explains it really good. So that's why I wanted to try and do that one in a separate video so I can do that justice rather than trying to rush through it here. Okay, so quickly, this is where you would add a new network and a guest hotspot. This is your networks. So as you can see, so this is where you'd go through and set your LANs and VLANs and so forth. This is your security. So you got your internet threat management and traffic and device identification. Here's your internet. I will have to blur out that and that. But this is where, so if I had multiple connections, because the Dream Machine Pro comes with 2, I could easily set up another WAN in here for access from redundancy, basically. So if I lost one, I would still have the backup. Down here is the system settings. This is your territory, your language, time format. I prefer 24 hours. It's a little easier for me. This is where you'd set whether you want to use the new or old dashboard, new settings, new client, and dark theme. The dark theme is how you see the screen being dark right now. This one is actually dark regardless, but the dashboard would be dark when you click this. So if I unclick that, apply changes, notice this screen didn't change. But if we come back to the dashboard, it did here. So we'll go back into here, we'll go into the system settings, and we will set that as dark and apply. So this is always a dark setting. The dashboard can actually be changed to a lighter setting. Maintenance. Now this is where Cody had his backups, if I remember correct, were in here. I haven't found backups yet. So, but this gives critical information. This is your UI version, backend version. This is the build, and this is the Ubiquiti information of where you might have to send devices for repairs and so forth. I don't know 100% on that yet. But this is your updates, update, restore, statistics, data retention, and support information. As you can see, there's not much in there to go over. It's all self-explanatory. If you want to look at it, pause the video, take a look real quick. So now under advanced features, you have your switch ports. So we can add a port profile here. Network isolation, I'll have to look at that. I don't know 100%. And it looks like I may have forgotten to remove one. I'm not sure. So, but this is your bandwidth profiles, your radius profiles, and then you've got your advanced gateway settings. So other than that, like I said, it was going to be a little bit longer, so I wouldn't have had time to go through and set anything up. I will do that in the next video. So thanks for hanging out with me. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. I will take a look at them. But until next time, take care, have fun.